to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause, we doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on Monday. It's Man Talk Monday.
Woo! Oh, you gotta believe we back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mondays is back once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Derek, the Thought Engineer, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the comedian, John Yogi.
You better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. Doggone it. How you doing this week, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, man, 2022, you know, COVID ain't trying to let nobody be great, but I'm still going to be great, man.
Hey, you're out there playing dodgeball with COVID, bro, because it's coming to get you.
Talking about duck, goose, dodgeball, everything you playing with COVID, boy.
COVID coming to get you, boy.
It is wild out there. I hope everybody is staying safe during this time. Please stay safe with COVID out there. Let me just remind everybody, this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships. But of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to join in, men, women, boys, and girls. You can participate in the conversation. Now, how you do this? Simply go to the comments, drop your comment, drop your question. We can see this. And this is how you talk to us. But by all means, let us know what's on your mind. Let us know how you feel about what we're talking about. Talk to us. All right. So we got a good conversation tonight. But before we get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen, Man Talk Monday News.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your man, John D. Blackman. And tonight's top story, on Dr. King's holiday today, one of the eloquent things that he said that I found fascinating, well, he said, we can't be a first-class nation with second-class citizens. So on today, perhaps we could treat each other like we're all first-class citizens. Racism goes on every day. Can we take a break or a pause today? There'll be no more. How about today we don't do niggas and jiggers? How about we don't do honkies and tonkies? How about no more Rodriguez's and pink, 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 pow, poo? How about can we just get along today, guys? So Dr. King found his calling in life because I couldn't do it. If it hadn't been for me, we still would have been in slavery because I ain't taking now lick for now one of y'all. So let's today thank Martin Luther King for all he's done and just say, thank you, Dr. King, and we appreciate you. Good evening, guys, and good night. You know, when you're doing that, it don't seem like it's as bad as when you hear it back.
If you play that back one more time, you need to hear it sometimes. You got to put it back so you can hear it.
You got to say, because it's never listened to. Once you do it, you take one, hey, sit there.
I think John D. Black was going to get a call from the FCC, man. About this political correctness. But,
hey, man, hey, it be that way sometime, brother. It be that way sometime.
Hey, everybody, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. We have our podcast that we have available. You can check us out, Google, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Spreaker, a whole lot of different platforms you can find us on. Be sure you go and check us out. Man Talk Mondays. You can check us out on those platforms. And let me just do a plug real quick. Our producer, Dr. Selena, has a podcast as well, Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma. Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma. Hers is available on Apple and Spotify and Google as well. Go check it out. I recommend it to any educator, especially educators, education administrators, the whole nine. She's talking about trauma and the effects on kids and the whole nine. So she goes into all of that stuff. So definitely go check out our producer, Dr. Selena Smith. Go check out our podcast, Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma. You want to go check that out, right? Also, don't forget we are on TV, y'all. We on TV. BS3 TV on Roku. So shout out to all our Roku people are watching on Roku. Thank you for watching us. BS3 TV. You can find not only our podcast, you can find a whole host of BS3 programming. Got some great stuff out there, great shows, great content. You can go and check it out at any time because any episode, it's on demand at that point. You can go back and watch it whenever you feel like it, or catch us live like you are now. Right? So make sure you go check out BS3 TV on Roku, like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff.
I have listened to Dr. Selena's podcast, and there's a lot of great information on there. So if you're a community leader or parents, as well as teachers, you really need to be listening because the story she told about the student that couldn't sleep at night and was sleeping all day school because he was up all night. So somebody couldn't, thinking somebody may come through the window. Man, that dude, I was captive. It was captivating, man. So really good. You guys, if you guys get a chance, check that out. Really great podcast to listen to. And so, what do I got to do to be a guest on the Dr. Selena Smith podcast?
Yeah,
so I got to be crazy.
I want to put her on the spot. I almost brought her on and just kind of talk about it. I don't want to put her on the spot.
Great idea.
How she feel about that.
2022. Get on there.
Can you just hop on real quick, Doc? All right, she say no. Producers, she don't
have on her doctor glasses. You know, you gotta look right. You gotta look like you know something
right now. She
look like a commoner right now.
Like a commoner, a peasant. All right, we're gonna have to have her next week. We'll probably just have a spot so she can kind of talk about the podcast. But
there you go.
It's great content.
Absolutely.
Like parents, for educators, a whole lot of different people. Great information. So now we're up to our point where we talk about some things that's going on in the world around us. It's Man Talk About It. Man Talk About It. Now, everybody know, like we said before, COVID is running rampant. Everybody is careful about touching folks. Everybody, you should be masked up because this thing, especially this Omicron, is contagious. Contagious. Well, one pastor, I don't know, he's catching backlash now because he doesn't seem to be taking it so serious. So you got the famous pastor Mike Todd. Mike Todd is receiving backlash for a sermon where he spat in his hand and wiped it over a dude's face during a sermon. Literally spat. I mean, a hock in a spit.
It was a hock. I heard him hock what he did. I heard a hock. Hock.
There was a little hock in one of them.
He
was getting himself together. There was a little hock in there. But to illustrate a point on this sermon, he literally spat in his hand and took the spit and wiped it over a guy's face. Now, granted, the guy was his brother, but hey, man, I don't care how related we are. I ain't letting you just wipe your spit on me, bro.
I wonder if he had to pay him. I wonder how much money was involved. And the problem I see with that, now, to be honest, I don't see anything wrong with you using a prop or something like that to help get your message across. But the problem that I do have is, if there is any problem to be had, you should be the example. If you're gonna be dunked in water from the Trinity, it should be you that get dunked. It shouldn't be nobody else. If somebody's gonna get spit on and wiped on their face, it should be you. You should be the example.
Pastor Sam says, in my opinion, he went too far. Yeah,
just a little bit. What did it for me when he said, I was done. When he did, he hit the side of that neck and you pull it back from there. I was done, son. I was done.
Some 3-day-old flim on him.
I'm just saying, man. And listen, you got to be. I understand about people being old school, but you got to be sensitive to the time that we living in now. You can't. No. You almost got to spit in your hand and fake and wipe it with the other one or something. You can't. There's no way that's supposed to touch his face. There's no way. You're gonna be the rest of your day trying to get that off of your face. You know how your mama used to wipe your eyes with her spit. She said, "Come here," and she wipe it, and you be smelling her spit the rest of the day.
The rest of
the day.
Don't let her have coffee and cigarettes. You in trouble the rest of the day.
You're gonna smell like whatever his breakfast was. Whatever his breakfast was that day. If he had breakfast, you better hope it wasn't morning breath he put on him, because if it was, it's gonna be on him all day.
But needless to say, it was very unsanitary, especially at these times where people are so cautious about, spreading stuff. Now, they had some people that were in an uproar behind this, and definitely he gets a lot of viewers. So viewers were upset. So he released a statement today apologizing to everybody that, in his passion to illustrate his point, he thought about this, but he didn't seem to think it all the way through.
He deaf. Because when he spit in his hand a couple of times, the audience was like, ugh.
Right.
Don't you hear them?
No, but he kind of justified. He's like, do you hear the people? Do you hear what the people? That's what you're gonna get from the people when God starts to when it starts getting messy. That's what, nah, bro, that ain't why they saying that. They saying you nasty, man.
and most of the times when you have those moments, that's between you and God. Most of the time, God gets you off to yourself for that kind. That's just my personal opinion. When God deal with you like that, it's just you and him. It's not really about what nobody else is saying or doing. He want to see if you're gonna be obedient to it or not. Because if you had a came to me like that,
right,
you better get off me.
Right,
because you're doing too much. You're doing too much, man. You're doing too much.
And just to be clear, the story that he was illustrating, Jesus didn't spit on the guy. He spat in the dirt and made mud and put it on the guy's eyes that was blind.
But that wasn't gonna be good enough for a shock factor.
Yes.
I gotta spit on you. like.
Let me spit on you. Yeah. So he's apologized. I think it was more of a PR move. Justin says, COVID going on, and he did this. Yes, he did. And that's why people were so upset. They like, bruh, it's COVID out there. It's running rampant. You barely back in church already. And here you go. You want to use this illustration where you spit. When I say spit, y'all got to go back and check it out and really get the full effect. What we talk about when we say spit.
Twice.
He spat in his hand, mixed it up like some lotion, and then just wiped it over his brother's face.
Well, the first time wasn't good enough. He did it twice.
Right.
He had one person. Nah, bro, that's too much for me.
He cleared the sinuses on one of them. It was bad. It was bad. But hey, man, people go to great lengths to, I don't know, to either to make a point, to get what they want, to, I don't know, people don't think things through all the time.
But we're in a shock value society, though, D. We go for the shock value. You know, so you're trying to drive ratings up. You know, see, with 3 people watching you last week, so you're gonna spit on somebody next week. You got to get the ratings up.
Yeah, I guarantee you more people will tune in next time. Guarantee you.
Yeah, you're right. Because he gonna have to. He got some explaining to do.
Because they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Is that what they say?
That's what they said.
What they say?
Unless you're going to jail.
Justin said he got 2 big ones out. I mean, huge ones, Justin. Ron says, still do not know how his brother did not knock him out. I'm like, did you fully talk about everything up front? Did you fully tell him what was coming?
Yeah, but he used the pastor thing on him, though. I know I'm your brother, but right now I'm your pastor.
No, he used the God thing. I guarantee you.
Come on, he had to.
Anytime anybody want to get you to buy into something, they'll tell you God said. God said, if you let me do this, brother, you're gonna be blessed. Your pockets would never run dry. All this kind of stuff. God said.
So you wrong for that, dude. You wrong for that, brother. You wrong for that.
But it's a bad experience. I'm pretty sure the brother had. And I don't know if, when you talk about bad experiences, I don't know if he had as bad of experience as this Instagram model that hooked up with Drake. So I'm pretty sure plenty of y'all have heard about this. Drake, the rapper Drake, had an incident that they're calling the Tabasco fiasco with an Instagram model. So you know how people get down, right? It's Drake, famous rapper, Instagram model, hotel. That should tell you enough. Well, after having relations, he protected himself doing the do. He goes to the bathroom, pulls off the prophylactic, and proceeds to pour hot sauce in it to kill the seed that he left behind. The model goes in the bathroom behind him. Now he puts it in the trash. The model goes in behind him, retrieves the prophylactic from the trash, and proceeded to try to inseminate herself with Drake's seed, and got a burning experience.
Burning sensation.
Burning sensation. To the point that she's now, it's reported that she's trying to sue him for what happened to her.
That cooch gonna be down for a few minutes. They're gonna have to put an out of order sound on that cooch because she's gonna be down for a few minutes, bro. That cooch gonna be down.
He said out of order.
She gotta get a t-shirt and say out of order down here.
So Justin said that's on her, and that's what she get for trying to trap him.
But now hold on a second. You can't get mad at women, Instagram models, for doing what they do. You think that she with you, she just want to be able to tell her friends that I was with Drake, or you think she want to be able to show them that she was with Drake by having his baby? You can't get mad at them, but you also can't get mad at Drake for protecting himself. But that's what people listen. You're not on Instagram trying to get a 9-to-5. You're on Instagram because you're trying to create opportunities so you can meet somebody and be somebody's wife.
Yeah.
Or be a side chick, or be somebody that can get paid from. Well, we know that. That's 101. And to think that Drake is new to this thing. Drake been on for a minute now. He should know all the tricks. She should know all of that by now. So again, like I said, she should have got a piece of paper. She should have asked the bellhop for a piece of paper downstairs and wrote out of order on that cooch, because this ain't no more good.
But this is what people are doing. This is the links people go through to secure life for themselves. So Mika says, so she didn't smell that Tabasco. So sis is crazy and has no smell. That is her fault. She shouldn't get a dime. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure she was too much in a hurry before he probably walked in to even pay attention to what was going on.
She'd have been better off sprinkling it on her fries before she was going to put it in the pregnant.
He said, "Oh, her fries." Now that's almost nasty as a spit. Justin said,
but think about this, D. You don't see that red in there? It's red in there.
I'm telling you, if she's in a hurry to try to do this before he possibly walks in, I can see her not paying attention. Justin says, but the wonder why we didn't find it hard to but they wonder why we find it hard to respect some women.
No, that's Justin. You know what? That's not fair, Justin. Let me say this. I'm speaking for the Instagram models that my friend has told me about on internet. Because me myself, I ain't looking at that. No way, no how. But from what he tells me, they make it pretty clear what they're looking for, and they'll brag to you about how many people in their DMs, how many people trying to get at them. So it's no secret. It's no secret in this particular case, because what we don't want to do is get these particular people mixed up with regular men and women that's out there trying to do something.
Yeah. Monique says, Mika Baldwin, I thought the same thing. Don't be surprised at what links people go through to try to get what they want. Justin says, not all, but the ones are doing stuff like that. Right. But we hear about those. That's the ones we hear about. Brian said, let me go to IG. That's my speed.
I'm just saying.
That's your speed. Okay. All right. Ron says, what happened to flushing them down the toilet? That's a good question.
Well,
Ron.
let me say this. Everybody wants to be discreet. He don't want to let her know that he's sabotaging the prophylactic, because so you put it in the trash. So it's funny. Everybody's supposed to be trusting, but don't nobody trust nobody. Is that not the craziest thing?
Oh, wow.
Is that not the craziest thing? Nobody trusts nobody. Right. I don't want to make it seem like I don't trust you and I'm gonna flush it down the toilet. No, I'm gonna put it in the trash can, but I'm gonna sabotage it and I'm gonna stick it in there. She would have been better off sticking that on her burrito, brother.
Put some hot sauce on my burrito, baby.
oh, I got some in the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. How you get hot sauce in the bath? But he had to know. He had to suspect that this was what she was gonna do, and it was almost as if it was a prank.
I disagree. I think he does this all the time.
Oh wow!
I think he does this all the time. Why? Listen, this is not his first rodeo. Listen, I've been a superstar before. Okay, I've been that. I understand the links you got to go through so people won't try to get you. Fortunately, I wasn't out there like that.
So, what was your hot sauce of choice?
I was a good.
All right. So, Justice said, question for the ladies: why are you guys not calling them out on acts like that? So, Justin is talking about accountability. Why aren't women holding other women accountable for this type of stuff, this type of behavior?
But we know what you can listen, man. Why? Okay. Do I have to say it? Why women gonna come for? Most women want to be her.
They want to be her.
Why they gonna come for? They mad because they ain't in her shoes. They mad that they mad that they don't have out to sign on theirs with Drake stuff in it.
Which talks about people compromising themselves, compromising their values for the sake of getting with somebody or the whole nine. Brian says maybe he's trying to get a hot sauce endorsement. He will now. I guarantee you somebody gonna reach out to him behind this. But when they talk about compromising, tonight we talking about you gonna make a hoe out of me. You gonna make a hoe out of me. That's what we're talking about tonight.
So this conversation came up. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I know y'all think I got a lot of friends because I do. And they were telling me that it just don't seem right. You could be dating a guy, and everything seems to be going normal, and he's dragging his feet with you. But then the first time he come across a chick that got her breasts hanging out and her booty out, and does a little bit more, now he's a lot faster with her than he was with me. All I got was him dragging his feet about marriage, about anything, about gift buying, all this stuff. But now when he gets with her, now he missed the money bucks. So and I thought it'd be a great topic to talk about, because I was saying I don't really, so we can make women kind of understand what's going on with that. So that's where the conversation came from.
All right, so we're gonna kind of let you in on the mind of a man when it comes to situations like this. This is Man Talk Mondays. This is what we do, give you the man's perspective, right? So women that are out there wondering, what do you have to do to get the person that you are pursuing, right? Because it appears that women who are a little bit more loose with how they deal with guys, they seem to be winning.
Well, unfortunately, D, it's not really about the loose women, because you could be loose and most guys would just sleep with you as long as you want to be slept with, and they won't make no commitment, because ultimately they have to want you. And I know it sounds crazy. I know a guy will make you think he wants you, but ultimately, if a guy wants, most guys, when they get in relationships, they want one of three things. We know we already know who we want to sleep with and who we want to wife. And unfortunately, you fall into those categories early. When we meet you, most of the time we know now. Now, the sad part about it is men are so shallow that we'll look at you and we can tell whether or not we want to wife you. The sad commentary about it is we'll make you think one thing while in our minds we're doing something completely different. That's the sad part of it. Because look, at least we owe women enough to say, hey, listen, I don't really want nothing serious right now. I'm not really ready for that. Or if you're not ready for that with her. Because the problem is you'll break up with her and you'll wife the next chick that's like you want. Because again, it's funny, women talk about how they have a list and stuff. Well, we have lists too. And if you don't meet the things that are on our list, we'll just leave with you and make you think we want you.
Wow. You got a point. Like Selena says, tits and tails sell.
But it's just about who they own, though. It's just about who's wearing the tits and the tail.
You say who wearing it?
It's all about who wearing them. Listen, I'm telling you, guys, because look, every woman got them. So what's the difference there? Because everybody got them.
You got a point. Every woman got them, but if every woman got them, then why the girls who not only have them but are distributing them a little bit more, why they seem like they winning?
Well, they seem like they're winning because they're more attractive. They're more finer. They're more quicker with the eye test, because either they're really pretty, they stacked, there's something about them, they got something about them. Because most of the time with guys, it's a physical thing. Most of the time it's physical. Now, sometimes you talk too much, you want to be quiet, you're too aggressive. Most of the time it's small. It could be small stuff like that. But man, we shallow. Most of the time it's eye test with us. When we see you, we're trying to figure out how fast we want to get you in the bed and what you're going to make us do to get you there. Now, if you're not, because you know what, man, we have hearts. We can be nice. So we just asleep with you. And we'll let you keep going on about the marriage. Yeah, we're going to get that one day. Yeah, I'm going to wife you one day. I want that wife, and we don't have no intention of doing it. Because if I'm talking too much, let me know, D. But this the thing. Because while we waiting for the woman of our dreams, we'll sleep with other women.
So Justin says we hold the keys to relationships and they hold the keys to sex. Once we stop giving women our sexual energy, you get to see what they really want with you. That's interesting. You say once we stop giving them the sexual energy, when we stop moving like that's all we want, now they got to move different. They have to change up how they deal with us.
Well, one of the misconceptions, though, man, is once you sleep with most women, dude, you begin to see who they really are. And more importantly, the more you're sleeping with them, you get to see more how they are on their feelings. Because now they've given themselves to you and they're hoping that they can get something back in return for it. And the funny thing about giving yourself to somebody, you can't stop. Once you start something with somebody, you got to keep it up. You can't pull back in the middle and say, you know what? This is what I'm not doing. I'm not finna keep giving you this bouquet, and I ain't getting enough. Well, once you started giving him the bouquet, now you want it as much as he do, especially if it's good. Especially if it's good, because you know I'm gonna tell you something. Can't nobody give you better sex or loving than somebody that's not committed to you.
Wow.
Because he not invested. Don't nobody act more fool on your behind than somebody who's not invested in you.
You're not invested. You're absolutely right. So I remember having a conversation one time. I was in a conversation. They were talking about why men seem to cheat. And I said, listen, you got to understand the best time to get a job is when you already got one.
Yeah.
That's the best time. Because here's the thing. A man with a woman moves different than he does when he's by himself.
True.
He has more confidence because he knows I'm not operating at a deficit anymore. I got a surplus. And so when he is out and he's around other females, he has a different energy about it because he's not coming across so desperate anymore. He's feeling himself he has a little bit more confidence when he's out maneuvering now because he has somebody. Now he's like, well, why won't he just settle with the one he got? Because she wasn't what he was aiming for.
There you go.
She was what he was looking for to lock down so that he could have a little security. Listen, women ain't the only people looking for security. Mm-hmm. Women are not the only people looking for security. Mm-hmm. Men are too. Mm-hmm. And once he secured that one that's just going to be there, now he moves different. There's a different energy about him because everybody operates from that forbidden fruit thing because nobody was checking for him before he got with somebody. Now, so what is it about women that now they're checking for him now that he got somebody? All right. Monique says it's physical, but it's also the chase. Most of the women giving out early are giving out too many. So she's not calling. She's not stalking. She's not moving to the next. That's the chase. Once you stop calling and answering text message, they tend to try harder.
Really good point. Really good point. Because listen, that woman that you're not sure that you can get and make do like you want to do, you're gonna want her more than somebody that's chasing you.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna want her way more. And matter of fact, you're gonna put up with a lot. She ain't gonna return your calls. She ain't gonna do what you tell she gonna do. She gonna stand you up, and all that is gonna make you go crazy. But the same thing works for women.
Yeah,
it's the same way. It does not have a gender. It's chase or be chased.
Yeah, because what I'm finding out it's interesting that women have this complaint because men have the same complaint too. You take what we call good guys. Good guys typically are passed up or looked over for the bad boy. The same way it seems like good girls are saying that the hoes keep winning. Why the hoes keep winning?
What? Hey, now hoes is a gender. It's not gender specific.
Right.
Hoes can be guys, but we'll assume when we say hoes, we talking about girls. But guys go through the same thing because this is what I don't understand. Why the good guys and the good girls don't never seem to find each other? You know why? I can tell you why. Because both of them looking for somebody better. Both of them looking for somebody to be a good guy. No, I want to be taller. I want to have more money. No, everybody looking for something a little bit better when you're in that middle pool. Well, hey, let me tell y'all something. Y'all gotta get out. You better grab you somebody. You better grab somebody.
Now here's the problem. You grab somebody just to satisfy that itch, but once that itch is satisfied, now you start looking for what you really want.
That's good, dude. But I was gonna say when I'm talking about grabbing somebody, I mean there is going to be a compromise in relationships. Nobody's perfect. I am now. Let's use me for an example. I am short and heavyset. My dream was to be long haired and tall, but I'm really pretty, and I'm muscular to the second power.
Yeah.
But I'm listen, because we're not gonna get it all. And the problem with people is they want it all after they satisfied. After they are satisfied, they want it all, and that's the problem for men and women.
Just to say, that's why I don't give them your sexual energy. That's why I say don't give them your sexual energy. They will be confused on why you're not going after them like that. And see, when you take what Justin said, you match it with what Monique said, now you got the game. Here is the game. This is what's happening. I can't let you know I'm into you like that because I don't want to make you feel like you got me. It's the elusiveness that we try, which plays into the whole thing. We want the one that seems unattainable. That's who we want.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me he saw Pilar Sanders in person. And he said the first thing he thought was, I would have to get 2 jobs to be with her.
That's serious. When you see a woman, you're like, man, I got to get another job.
You know why, D? Because he's already had it in his head that she's not attainable. See, that's why. That's why when he see her, he knows, oh, bro, I got to get my game tight. If I'm gonna have to bring my game up. I'm telling you.
You might be on to something, John.
I'm trying.
Everybody want what they feel like they can't get, because it's not really about the person, it's about you. There's an insecurity about you questioning if you really look that good, if you really got it going on, but this person will solidify it. So Justice says, because they don't want each other until their sexual value has dropped. The sexual value.
Wow.
So he said once your sexual value has dropped, now you want to get serious.
Wait.
Did I get it right, Justin? Let me know.
Why these hoes be winning though?
Right. That's what Ron say. Why they be winning? But I think the issue is, do we even know what the win is? Because what I found, a lot of people are winning and don't even know it.
Boy, you better say that.
Come on now.
Say that. You better say that.
Let the judge say.
What is winning? Because when I look at your situation or vice versa, you gonna tell me that, bro, you winning. You don't even know it. Well, see, that's most people. Most people are in winning situations and don't have sense of knowing because the dude is not tall, dark, and handsome, because the guy don't make 6-7 figures. But dude, you got a dude or a chick that care about you and that loves you as much as you love her, bro, you winning. Listen to me. What do Teddy P say, D? Teddy P said,
feels so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
You winning, D. Teddy P was winning. He was winning.
Mika says, but why the game? If you like me and I like you, let's explore. We make it hard for sure. But here's the thing, Mika. What happens if I let you know too soon? Because there's a trust issue. Because I've let people know before and they hurt me. I let people know before and they took advantage of me. So who's to say you won't do the same thing?
Indeed. And also, when people say what is winning is a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Most of the time when we say winning, it's the woman or the guy that ended up with the girl ended up with who they were wanting. Listen, check back in their relationship in 2 to 3 years. When you see her with knots on her head, you see him at the divorce place, you see them. Listen, I'm telling y'all, what seemed like winning a lot of times ain't really what that is.
Amen. And you cannot judge winning by what you see on social media. You cannot judge winning by what you see on social media. A couple of pictures here and there does not tell you anything.
Bro, look, and you know what, man? we're such a social media, we're so social media driven. That's what we judge relationships by. Because to be honest, Will and Jada had the perfect marriage. If you would ask us about what we see on social media, they had the perfect marriage before all of the trouble started. And and most people will look at Will or Jada and say, "Oh, if I just had Will, if I just had
relationship goals."
You don't know people. You don't know. People show you what they want you to see. And you know what? And I was thinking about this. It seems like we talk about relationships a lot because people are always in them and they're doing the wrong things in them.
Oh, man.
Because if you think that you got to become a hoe to grab somebody, then something wrong with you. Because there's nothing more confident. There's nothing more, what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing more extraordinary in a relationship than the person that's confident. Listen, should nobody be able to tell you your value? You need to know what your value is. There's nothing more attractive and sexy than confidence. I remember a friend of mine was telling about it, this girl that he was in college with. And she said she was tall, had long legs, kind of clumsy, wasn't as attractive, but knew she was that thing and kept dudes that was like that. And people used to wonder, how's she getting them dudes? Because she felt like she was supposed to have them. What do you feel like you're supposed to have? Maybe, just maybe, you got what you thought you were supposed to have. So you can't come to nobody and say, man, I could have did better than this. You're lying. You couldn't do no better than that. That's where you at. That's why you there.
Just to say, Walt Disney made women believe that they can have it all. Oh, wow.
Justin, they don't believe that. They don't believe that. That's why all of them fighting over the same man.
Oh.
That's why one man can come in and run through a bunch of women and they'll settle for that. And we go, whoa, and they know he doing it. Don't tell me what Walt Disney doing. I can tell you what's going on in real life. That's fairy tale stuff there. Real life is their compromise.
Only say, so before getting out there, check yourself and reflect, because as Mika has stated, most of us are ready, but the game starts. And sometimes that leads to good men and women turn to the game. Good men and women turn into the game. Right. So you resort to the game because there's a trust issue, right? Because you're afraid that the person is going to do you something bad. They're going to take advantage of you. They're going to use you or something in that arena. But also, to John's point, there is an issue with how you see yourself. If you know you all of that, then you don't depend on that person to make you more. And see, this is the reason why everybody is chasing the same dude, because he is a status symbol. It's about, I got him. Everybody wanted him, but I got him. That's not about the guy. That's a personal issue. And for the guy that gets the girl that's, you know what I'm saying, built like a brick house, it's, I got her. Everybody else want her, but I got her. What does that say about the person? There's an insecurity there about who you are. Ron said relationship goals is Mr. and Mrs. Jenkins that have been together for 30 years, not social media. Absolutely.
And see, okay, D, this pains me. I want to put this out there right now. Pains me out for everybody to see. Because D, we don't be honest with ourselves. There are some people that you're trying to reach for that you know if you get with them, you ain't gonna be able to sleep at night. You know if you get her and you a little overweight, out of shape, and your money ain't right, you're gonna be on your toes trying to run her down the whole time. We got to be honest with ourselves, guys, especially once we start to get a little older. Now, all of us are all that in a bag of chips when we got the world in our hand when we're in our 20s. But as 30s and 40s start coming, we have to be honest with ourselves and say, man, listen, I'm human just like y'all. And I have seen people that I said, boy, if she was with me, boy, you talking about a headache, she would be nothing to me. You see people and you know they ain't gonna be nothing but headaches. You see them and you say, oh no, girl, I'm glad I'm married because you ain't gonna be nothing but a headache. We got
every night to prove my love.
Because we're not honest enough with ourselves Just say, nah, man, that ain't gonna be no good for me. That now remember, she gonna be real good to me, but that ain't gonna be no good for me.
Right. So so how do people find their worth outside of sex? Because it seems like this is the thing that everybody is putting out there in order to secure a potential mate.
You know, D, perhaps your value is measured by what you won't do.
Oh,
because when you look a certain way or got confidence, you don't have to settle for less than you believe you deserve.
Let's not breeze over that. Your value is determined by what you won't do.
I wanted to tell her to give me a close up, but y'all wasn't gonna be ready.
Give him a close up so you can say it again. Go say that one more time.
Dude, real talk. Because if you can set your standards on what you won't do, that's value right there. People will value you for what you won't do, for what you're not willing to compromise for. That's how you can tell what you're worth outside of sex. No, I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing this. Sure ain't gonna be none of that. No, that's not how I was brought up. I'm taught that I was the king or queen, and I'm gonna be treated as such. And when you start compromising that's when you have to turn to sex. That's when you have to turn because you don't have anything else.
But where does the compromise come in? Because this is what happens. I stand on this, but how long do I stand alone? How patient do I have to be to hold on to this value? Because it seems like I'm getting passed by. And now, because here's the thing, whenever somebody has a product that's not moving, let's just say stores. When stores have a product that's not moving, what do? They put
it on sale.
They put it on sale. And what is a sale? I have reduced the value of it.
Listen.
Get it to move.
If you think putting that booty on sale it's gonna move that, you wrong. It's just gonna have people running through it and bringing it back to the store talking about this ain't working like it's supposed to. This out of order. Somebody will put Tabasco down in it and it's out of order. It won't do it, D. You better off standing on your principles, man, because there's no such thing. Go ahead.
So Justin got a good point here. He says us or men, our sexual marketplace value increases with age. For women, it's the opposite. So he's saying, as men get older, our value increases, typically because we've accumulated more of what women are really looking for, which is that thing that says security. But women, as women age, their value decreases because the thing that men are looking for, those assets begin to decline.
And your assets tend to drop some when you get older. It don't stand up. It kind of stand up. It had a little room under it to stand up when but that's a whole nother thing. But the problem with that though, D, is when we start dating again, nobody trusts nobody. I think we need to go back over this. Drake didn't trust the girl, and he didn't want her to know he didn't trust her. He didn't want her to know, so he put it in the trash can. Think about that. Everybody know he don't trust her. Everybody know, but he didn't want her to know. See, that's what's wrong. That's the game. Well, I don't trust you, but I don't want you to know that I don't trust you. So I'm gonna leave it in the bathroom, but I'm gonna put something in it just in case I can't trust you. And that's what's ruining the market.
Yeah, and I think people got to understand. This guy, Kevin Samuels gets so much flack because this is one thing he tries to kind of highlight. And everybody looks at his delivery and they don't listen to what he's saying. Dating is a market. When you look at it, when you talk about markets, if something is easy to find, typically its value is low. If it's easy to find, rarity increases value. But here's the thing. Things that are rare are expensive. But here's the problem. Only certain people can afford it, which means you don't have a lot of customers. You don't have a lot of people stopping and shopping.
Yeah.
But if the value is high, you know when a person comes to shop, they're serious. People do not go into a Rolls Royce dealership to kick tires. They don't kick tires in a Rolls Royce dealership. If they show up in the front door, they don't show up unless they know they can buy.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
But they go down to the Chevy dealership all the time and waste salesman time.
We just
look. I'm just going. Why? Because I can go anytime. It's nothing. But dating is a market. So, like John said, he said, if your value is determined by what you won't do, when you compromise what you won't do and decrease your value, that person who would have come by as a serious buyer, you have now said, because he wanted something rare, she wanted something rare that everybody else couldn't have. But now that you made it available to everybody,
and man, dude, it's funny, man. This is so heavy. It got way heavier than I thought it was gonna be. Dude, I'm so serious, man. It got way heavier because I'm thinking, dude, it should be easy if we go into the relationships to be honest. But this is the thing, you don't know people. The problem that we have with dating is we think everybody's rationale is like ours.
mm-hmm.
We think people's history is like ours. We think people's past is like ours. Some people have been out there and have been drugged through it. And then you meet them. They trying to get over what this chick done did to them. And now she don't trust you to do nothing. If we could just be honest with each other, it would make the relationship process so much easier.
But you know what the problem is? Overall, for dating, the standards of quality have just gone away. The standards of quality, right? Monique says, I agree with John about holding off on sex and things you would do. But my question is, in this present day, most people, the world, are sexually free. It's just casual now. Most folks want sex and will move on or stay. It just depends. So with that, how can we compete? Here's the thing. The problem is people have convinced you that what they're doing. Listen, if you feel like sex is free, you're not free. You're a slave to it.
Mm-hmm.
You have now become a slave to it because it's dictating how you date. It's dictating how you go about interacting with people. Because you feel like this is something because the pressure that you're feeling is, if I don't do this, can I even compete?
I need to get a close up with this one. You're gonna like this one.
Go ahead,
please. So, okay, let's say we all agree that sex is just something that we do. I just got a question. Where does it stop? When it comes to sex, and we agree that we all just having it casually, what sex involves a lot of things. So what will you do in sex? What will you do? Where will you go? What will you allow to be done to you? Because whatever you allow to be done to you, the guy that you're with is going to think, everybody does this. Oh, you doing this? Oh, wow. That too? Oh, listen to me. Nobody wants anybody that's been ran through, man or woman. Because now all you're doing is bringing all of that stuff back to me in our relationship and the relationship that we're trying to have. And they're not going to do it. It's a reason why Kim Kardashian can't stay married. Because you can go to a videotape and see her. I don't care how casual you think it gets, because there's no boundaries if it's casual. And I don't want to feel like my wife has been done every kind of way, or my husband has been done every kind of way by somebody. Now when he brings his behind in her or her behind her, I got to compete with all of that. Who wants that? I'm just curious. So where does it stop? If that sex is casual, where does it stop?
Nobody's thinking about that. I'm not just competing with guys who other guys who are dealing with you. I'm competing with every guy you've had before. And that's something. Hey man, you said a lot, man.
Bro,
you said a lot, brother.
If one dude standing on the top rope jumping off, and you was like, when I woke up from that, I really dug that. Really dug that. Now you're gonna want the next dudes to do it, especially the dude that you care about. Hey, can we do this? Can we do it? Can you stand on top rope and walk down with one hand and come down on me like this? Dude, you're gonna want that. How could you not?
Hey, Run say you always test drive a used car before you buy it. Why, Run? Because they lie to you about the quality.
They change the oil and wipe off the engine so you can't.
They dress it up to make it look. Here's the thing: a new car comes with guarantees and warranties. The cost to fix it is not on you.
Because they got that. Because they know. Because they know it ain't been ran.
Bruh.
They know it been ran through. See, the problem is we're not willing to miss something that might not be for us. Because we think we got to get that in the bed. Let me get him in the bed to make sure if I'm supposed to have it, I can get it. You got to be willing to let things pass you by. Everything ain't for you. I used to have this problem with comedy. People would call me. I felt like I was supposed to take every show. You ain't supposed to take every show. Just like you don't supposed to have everybody that comes to you. Some people don't need to be in your life. You need to let them make it.
Now, I know some people going to have a problem with what I'm about to say. This is why when guys wanted to court women, they had to go to the daddy first. They had to go to him first. Because at least daddy's going to make sure he had a little something where he can take care of you and do stuff before he allowed you to go off with this dude.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Then he could vet him. He could check him out. Mika says, I have shouted through some of this show. Just to say, are you really competing with her past dudes if she chooses you? In her mind?
Listen.
Her mind?
A man or woman may not never tell you, but when we've had extraordinary sexual experiences, we're gonna remember those, whether it be man or woman. And there's some folk out there that got something for you, Jack. That bring their hat and their coat.
Yeah.
And you remember that.
When she starts suggesting you do certain things, it's because she had it before.
And you're gonna get in there with your tired self, and it ain't gonna be worth the quarter when you get in there and try it. Because they was young and virile when they did.
I recognize this. Jill Scott had a song, and she had this poem before she sung this song. And she said, during the song, she said, I had the next boyfriend of mine try the same kind, talk about cologne. She said, but it stunk on him, though. It didn't smell as good on him as it does you. Come on, man. Come on. And here's the thing. I got to go to the wood. You were not supposed to have that reference in your head to begin with. Listen, God is way smarter than we give him credit for. And him saying, don't do this, don't do that, was not to restrict us. He knew how we were. He knew we would be here right now, dealing with this stuff we dealing with right now. He knew it.
But our human nature says, oh my goodness, I got to sleep with her. Do you see all of that? I got to sleep with her. And I don't want nothing more but to sleep with her. Just like y'all, just like we look at each other like we're a piece of meat that we got to drive.
But there used to be a time that a guy would look at all of that and he wouldn't say, I got to sleep with her. He would say, I got to marry her.
But sex is casual, D. Sex casual now. We're not, exactly. Whoa. Hey, if I can sleep with you without no commitment, sign me up. Not me, but my friend. Sign him up. He say sign him up. What a paper at? He want to sign up for that.
Woo!
Hey man, we can do our shots, our party shots that we do. What we call it? Final thoughts. Let's talk about Dr. King on his birthday. What he meant to us, man. We didn't do that at the beginning, so if we can do that at the end, I think it'd be appropriate. You don't think so?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I can go. I'll go first. My final thoughts today is to bring remembrance to Dr. King and to talk about what he meant for me. Man, for someone to go through all that he went through for me, for somebody else other than his kids, for us to have a better day, for us to be able to walk around and be free, be treated as citizens, equal citizens. For all he did, man, I want to thank you and salute you for doing that for me, because you didn't have to, because people today don't seem like they built that way, where they would have did all of that. And I want to salute you and thank you for wanted me to be considered as a first-class citizen. And that's my final thought.
In Dr. King's famous speech, I Have a Dream speech, he made a statement. He says, I have a dream that one day my children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. When Dr. King made this statement, he wrote us a blank check, but he was banking on there being more to our character. When we reduce ourselves to what society tells us we are, when we reduce ourselves to what stereotypes tell us we are, we make bad on that investment that he made with that blank check that he wrote. We're supposed to be people of substance. We're supposed to be people of character. Let's not have him make the sacrifices he made and everybody that was along with him. The Medgar Evers, the Rosa Parks, let's not do them a disservice by when people look at our character, they don't find anything. So let's do better about how we deal with dating, with marriage, with economics and the whole. Let's do better about it because this is what they were banking on, us getting it. So I'm thankful to Dr. King for the sacrifices made, but we need to take up that cross and walk this thing out on behalf of those who gave up so much for us. So happy birthday, Dr. King. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. And that's our King Speak for this week. Yeah.
2022, y'all better get ready because we're coming.
Hey man, I'm with you. That was a little bit more to this whole conversation that we anticipated up front. But
we coming. We coming.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome job, bro. Awesome job.
Yeah.
Man. Bro, that was.
We're gonna have to dive into this a little deeper another time.
There you go. Hey, we want to thank you guys for being a part of our conversation because y'all just a part of our conversation. Y'all ain't really in it. Y'all just a part of our conversation. We thank y'all for listening in.
Hey, so maybe next time we actually have to bring some women on to actually have this dialogue with us when we talk about this.
Okay.
Whenever we revisit this, we'll definitely make sure we have the female perspective on to talk about this and have this conversation. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe this podcast. Share this podcast, share it on Facebook, or either go to our podcast and make sure you like and subscribe, click the bell, leave us a review. If you go and listen to it, leave us a review. Always leave reviews when you listen to podcasts. It helps people find it.
And don't tell me how good the show was if you're not willing to share it with nobody. Because if you thought it was beneficial to you, you will know it'll be beneficial to somebody else. So share it. So share, like, share, review, all that. Just do something. Don't just tell me that it's good.
Yeah. And let's support the content of our friends and family, our people that we know that are doing things. Let's support the content. That's and good. How you support is definitely subscribing, liking, sharing, leaving reviews, do all that stuff. Dr. Selena Smith, Teaching Through the Eyes of Trauma. Go check it out. Apple, Google, Spotify. It will bless your socks off. It's very valuable information. I mean, I'm not just saying it because my wife. I'm saying it. I know the work she's put in, the study she's put in, and I know her heart behind it is. So definitely check it out. Absolutely.
Well, brother, that was time flew by, didn't it?
Bro, once we got rolling, it was a good conversation. Ooh. Definitely appreciate everybody that joined in tonight into the conversation. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with more content talking about stuff that impacts you. Appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.
Y'all be blessed.